Hello everyone and welcome to the second episode of my podcast series Mari Talks. Our today's guest is Sveti Pashowska. She is a key influencer and honorary reporter, and in her country she is a writer in Summer Starry Sky website. And currently she is making YouTube videos about the Korean culture. I'm so honored to make this episode with her. Thank you so much for being a guest in today's podcast episode. Hello Tsveti, thank you so much for being a guest today in my podcast episode. Firstly, can you introduce yourself please?
Hello everyone, it's my pleasure to be guest in Mari's podcast. My name is Sveti. My full name is Cecka Plamenova Pashowska, but shortly just Sveti. I also have Korean name that is Hana. I'm from Bulgaria. I live in the province and I'm 17 years old. I will be in 11th grade this year, and next year I'm graduating. A little bit about myself. I love Korean culture, so all of my hobbies are related to Korea. I love to dance, to do pen pal. Also, I study Korean at home. I have many other hobbies, but the most important of all is just to have time for me. So that's it, I think.
How did you know about Korea and when? And what are the most attractive things that made you become a Korea lover?
Did I get to know about Korea? Well, it is a very interesting story, I guess. It happened 9 years ago when I was just a little kid. We had a summer break, when we have time to get more relaxed from school, and I was for 2nd grade. I like to play with my friends to have fun, and once just my friend asked me, do you want to make a dance cover? Do you want to have fun to dance to a different kind of music? And I was just like, oh yes, why not? I love to dance, I love to listen to music. And then she just showed me 21 song that is called I'm the Best. This was the first time I've ever heard something about K-pop music, about Korea. I was just amazed of these girls and their unique style. So we were 4 little girls that just didn't know anything about the country, just we started to dance to their songs and musics, and then I started to listen K-pop for a few years, but after that some other reasons just made me start to listen other kinds of musics. And then during 2016, when I was in 6th grade, I returned to my K-pop me, so I started to listen K-pop for the 2nd time in my life. I've already knew about the K-pop music and K-pop groups, but I wasn't that much into it. I have forgot about 21 and I just focused on other things like school, and many others. But then my teacher just made me sit with my classmate that listened to K-pop music, and she just told me, oh, you will become a K-pop lover and you will be a K-pop fan, I'm sure. And I was like, I don't want to be anything of this. Why are you talking like that? And she just started to show me BTS songs every single day. It was so strange. For me, they were so different. But I started to like them. It was so different and I really like BTS. Truth is that she also showed me a song of Monster X. It was All In. This is a very old song actually, and I didn't like the sound of the music, but I liked the video because in this video there was something really interesting. There was a story, and I wanted to know what is this story about, what this story is telling to us, the viewers. And I started to listen this song. After that, I fell in love with BTS song Fire, and that's how I became a K-pop lover since then till now. The years just passed away, and now I'm more into the Korean culture than the K-pop. Maybe the first 2 years I was a big ARMY and a big K-pop lover, while now I just focus on the country and more over the culture. I want to know more about the way of thinking of Korean people because they're incredible and they're so different from us. So I want to know more about that. Not that much about K-pop music, but I still listen to it.
Tell me about the presence of the Korean culture in your country. I mean, is there any Korean cultural centers or any special area of the Korean culture? If yes, do you visit there? Tell me what are the activities that you do there?
Actually, there are many Korean cultural centers here in Bulgaria. Most of them are in the capital of my country. The capital of Bulgaria is Sofia. But in the biggest cities like Plovdiv, Varna, Burgas, and many others, there are also cultural centers for Korea. And there are many Koreans that live here in Bulgaria and they spread around their culture, which is also, if you ask me. But I want to talk especially for one Korean center that is no longer active, unfortunately, but I'll tell you more about this later. Well, just 3 years ago, I found out that here in my area that is called Wraca, there is Korean Cultural Center, and there was a Korean family that lived here. I was so surprised because here Wraca is not that big city as the others. It's such a beautiful town with nature and many other landscapes, but it's not the capital, and it was very interesting that there are Koreans here and they actually have a Korean center. And then I actually became a volunteer in this Korean cultural camp. Korean cultural camp is a summer camp that is from this cultural center. In the 2016, I wanted to go there as a visitor, but unfortunately I couldn't. I couldn't visit this Korean camp and I was so sad. But then I said to myself, well, now I'm escaping something that I really want. I wanted this from my whole heart, but it couldn't happen because of some reasons. And the next summer, I was forgotten about all of this and I didn't want to go there anymore. But one of these Koreans, Mr. Kim Chul-ho, he invited me in Facebook. He just sent me a friendship invitation and I accepted this invitation. Then I did all my best and I was such a young girl, but my parents, they gave me permission. Yes, and because of that permission, I could go there alone to different city with strangers, just alone. Little girl went there and it was me. I went there as a volunteer and I was so stressful. Everything was so different, but most of all, I was one step closer to make my dream true. So when I went there, I met so many new people, so many new friends, and it made me feel more motivated to do anything about Korea. I met Kim Chul-ho and his wife. I met many other Korean people that were here in this camp, and I was surprised for them. They were so kind. I learned so many other things about Korean people and Korean culture. I had a lot of fun, and that was something like tradition for me. So every summer I go there as a volunteer. But unfortunately, just some months after this camp, Mr. Kim just died. Yes. Rest in peace, Mr. Kim. But once before he died, he told me, Sveti, you can do anything you want. I believe in you. And actually, these words that he believes in me were most important. They're something like my motivation to do anything about Korea, because nobody were telling me that believes in me, and that was the thing that made me feel that I can reach my dreams. So anyone who listens to this, I just want to say, I believe in you. There is someone who believes in you, and never forget that if you try your best, even if nobody telling you that believes in you, there is someone that will find how beautiful is everything you put your effort in it. So believe in yourself. I believe in you, and you will find how many other people also believe in you. The last Korean cultural camp in the summer here in my area of Wrocław was last summer, but there will be a family, Korean family, that will came here, especially to continue Mr. Kim's work to spread Korean culture here in Wrocław. Mr. Kim also was a Korean teacher, and he had classes for Korean languages. After his death, there were some other Korean teachers that came in Wrocław to be teachers of Korean, just like him. One of them was a young person called Kim An-chung. He was a student, and he came especially because he wanted to continue Kim Chul-ho mission here in Bulgaria to spread Korean culture, as I've already said. Others were one family who lived near to Wrocław in another city called Pleven. I went to their classes every single afternoon. After my classes, I take the bus. I traveled around 2 hours for going and going back to my home. It was so dark. It was winter, but I went there and I studied Korean. It was so good for me. I just was so grateful.
In Bulgaria, I heard that you have a website about the Asian culture called Summer Starry Sky, and you are a content creator in it too. Can you tell me more about it and the kind of the contents that you create in it? From the name of it, it seemed interesting for me because I really like it.
Yes, that's right. I'm a content creator in the Bulgarian website for Asian culture called Summer Starry Sky. I joined this website 2 years ago, and it was a very good thing because I started to write about Korea, to search more about Korea, and that was something that motivated me to follow my dreams. And that's how I learned so many other things about Korean culture. There was a post in Facebook that said, I'm searching for people who love Asian culture or Korea, Japan, and other countries of Asia, and they want to write articles for my website. It was written by Chen. She's a Chinese girl that is raised here in Bulgaria, and she is the main person who created this website. So I've just asked her, can I join? And I was the first person of this team. We were both two who made this website so big, and after a few months, there were many other girls who wanted to write with us. It was such a good thing that I joined because I started to do interviews, to go to events. For Summer Starry Sky, I met the ambassador of Korea here in Bulgaria, the consul of Korea here in Bulgaria, and many other important people, but I was still a teenage. I was just a little young girl that met so important people, and I'm so grateful because of that. So I believed in myself, and I just tell you, believe in yourself too. Now, if I go to a concert or any other event, I just put in my mind, can I get an interview of these people? Can I make a good article? And everything is related and connected about the Summer Starry Sky, and now for KoreaNet too, and now for K-Influencer Academy too. So when I go somewhere or when I meet someone, I just think about that. Can I ask this person for something about Korea? Can I write something about Korea? Can I connect all of these things about Korea? And that made me feel more motivated, and I feel like I'm doing something with my life. It's not like just sitting there and saying I don't know what to do with my life. So if you like Korea and Korean culture or any other culture, or even if it's something really different, maybe you like do exercises or study or anything else, try to find this thing you love in your other activities. Even if you're just walking through the streets, try to look around yourself and find the thing you love in the nature, in people around yourself. Make you feel like you are trying to get more connected with the thing you love, and it will motivate you to learn more, and you will realize how many other things you found out about the thing you love. So that's how I find out how similar and how different is my country and my culture from Korea and Korean culture.
You are a member in a K-pop dance group too. Tell me what are your favorite K-pop groups, and tell me about your main group. Like how did you meet and how you prepare your dances? What are your future goals? You are a member in a K-pop dance group too. Tell me what are your favorite K-pop groups, and tell me about your main group. Like how did you meet and how you prepare your dances? What are your future goals?
As I've already said, I love listening to K-pop music. I appreciate their dancing skills because in every single K-pop song there is a dance to it, and it is amazing. Like here in Bulgaria, we also have Bulgarian pop music, but there aren't dances, and the dances are not that interesting, that good, and that different as Korean ones. So I started to dance since 2017, if I'm not wrong, yes, it was 2017 when I joined a K-pop girl group here in my town called Białysłatina. We were just a few girls that loved K-pop music. We weren't a close friends. We were actually strangers with each other, and we decided that we want to participate in Korean cultural camp. I was talked about this in the previous minutes, and this was the reason why we gathered together and started learning K-pop dances alone. And some of the girls actually were in another dances group. Other girls just was in another rhythmic gymnastics group, and they asked their coach if they can start learning another kind of dances called Korean pop dances. And she actually find that Korean dances are so unique that she said, yes, I will be your trainer and you will be here, you will practice here in my wall. And that's how we started to gather together. We started to go there. There were so many things to do. We didn't know each other well, but we did our best because we loved Korea and all of we just loved K-pop music and to dance. That's how we created the K-pop cover group called Pink Divas. Now I'm a part of Pink Divas and I'm such a proud member of this group because we had a lot of problems and a lot of things to do through it. We had many members in the beginning. We were less, we were more. It was different. Every time it was different, and we just keep going through this path because we want to improve ourselves and to show the world and to other people that K-pop is such a unique thing. And now when we go to a stage performance or if we go on a concert, we actually dance K-pop, and we dance more K-pop dances, less than rhythmic gymnastics. That is awesome because our trainer just said, you are perfect for me. I love watching you how you dance K-pop. Even if I don't understand Korean, if I am not a fan of Korea, I love to watch how much effort you put in your dances because I know that you love Korea and love Korean dances. And now little girls and older, they're just our fans and they started to listen to K-pop music. They understood about Korea, and I'm so grateful that I joined and created Pink Divas because now we all introduced Korea to more people. Our main goals was actually to dance on a big stage. You know, there are some events like K-pop World Festival or Anime Expo or Anifest. There are events that are not only popular here in Bulgaria but in the world too. And the biggest aim that we achieved was that we were accepted to dance on this big stage on Anime Expo last year. It was just amazing that we were accepted and we danced and everyone just screamed for us, just applauded. We feel so good. We just feel that we did something, and we're around there where there were so many people that like Korea, that listen to K-pop music, and they saw in us that we love K-pop too, like them. Time to go on the stage on Anime Expo just came, and when we go upstairs on the stage, it just happens something really funny, and we had a big dance. It was more than 5 minutes, maybe it was 7 or 8 minutes, and we danced many dances, there was a mix of Blackpink songs and other songs, and we made a big collaboration of other musics. So we made something spectacular, if you ask me. I really love what we did then. And just one girl, as she danced, her skirt dropped, and it was a big, thankful. I don't know. We just continued to dance without realizing that her skirt is on the floor. It was so embarrassed for her, but she had shorts over the skirt, and it was something that we were thankful later, because if she hasn't, well, I don't know. It was our first appearing on a big stage, and we already had something so much embarrassing, but yes, it was something that we now just remember and start loving. This thing, actually, this memory made us closer, and now we are such a close friends, and I love when I have to go on practices with them, because I feel them closer, and I feel them like other K-pop fans that love dance and that love K-pop music. So my favorite K-pop groups are BTS, Stray Kids, NCT, I love ITZY, I love Blackpink, and so many others. I love almost every of them. I also listen Daegu, if you know him. I love Zico. I love K-pop industry because they have many talented people in it. So yes, I just want to support every artist in this industry. But this is my favorite. I think I will be very grateful to know if the listeners now are also listening to K-pop music, and which is their favorite K-pop artist or K-pop group. About Pink Divas, we also have an Instagram, we have YouTube channel. We are not that much active because we are in different ages, and some of us are graduating, others are traveling to different places, and it's really hard to be together, but we still are, and that's the most important. Actually, after a few hours, I'm going to practice some dances with them. So yeah, just love to dance, love to listen K-pop music, and that's it. Thank you so much for inviting me in your podcast episode. It was such a pleasure to tell my story to the audience, and I'm really grateful that you invite me. Thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe for Marie's channel and to like this video, to leave a comment. Thank you so much, and don't forget, believe in yourself, believe in your skills, believe in what you love, and everything will become true. Just follow your dreams. Bye. Thank you so much.
Once again, thank you so much, Sveti, for your sweet words and advices. And please don't forget to subscribe in her channel too. I will let the link in the description box below. Thank you so much. Bye. See you next time. Annyeong.